Hey everyone, welcome to Metal Guns and Outdoors. Got this in on a trade and it seems to have a small issue. This is one of them Pietta, made in Italy, 44 cal, black powder. It is a pretty pistol now, I'll definitely give it that. Nice looking handles, brass, good looking bluing on it too. What the issue is with this firearm, sometimes when you cock it back like that, it doesn't want to hold. Apparently the trigger spring has an issue. So we're going to take her down and see if we can fix it. And if we can, it'll be a cool one. Alright, first thing we're going to do is get this wedge out of there and get our barrel assembly off. Of course, as you can see, it's not loaded, no primers on the caps or anything like that. Alright, just grab that and tap it out. As you can see, it just comes right out of there. Don't even have to take that keeper screw out of there. It just doesn't seem to do a whole lot. Just grab it, slide it right off there, and there's your barrel. Got some good rifling in it though. Alright, set that over there out of the way. Next thing we're going to do, go to around a half cup, slide our cylinder off. Not too bad. Alright, now, excuse me, this screw here, you want to loosen it up some. And even though this does not seem like a big deal, you don't loosen this screw up first, seems like you're never going to be able to get these two right here out. So loosen that one up some. And then go after these two back ones here. The way they got these designed, it seems like that brass just has a lot of tension on it. I don't know if it's just not machined for a perfect fit or not. You see how it gapped apart as soon as I started loosening them. Go ahead and get these all loosened up. Alright, let's leave them sitting in there. Go ahead and get this bottom one. Alright, that's the bottom screw. And that assembly just slides right off. Then you can just slide your handles out. Get the two screws out of there before I lose them. And these three screws here are all the same, so mix them up, no big deal. And the handle is supposed to just slide straight off of there. It was pretty tight. There you go. There's your brass rear frame, your back strap. And there's your handles. They say these are walnut. Not sure looking at it. Yeah. Oh, they appear to be. Well, that's pretty nice, especially for, you know, relatively low-cost firearm. Now, we have our hammer spring here. You know that thing's under pretty good tension. Get that just loosened up a little bit. Let me see if I can just slide that off to one side maybe. There we go, pretty easy. Just push it down with my thumb and slide it right off of there. I'll take that screw out. And there we go, got it down that far. Now we're wanting to get into here and check out this trigger. So let's go ahead and take this front screw here out. And now these 3 screws are different. This front screw is different than the back 2. So I'll set them off to the side by themselves. The actual threads and the screw pitch and everything is the same. It's the heads that are different on them. We'll get this off. We should be right in there and see our spring for our trigger and see what happened to this thing. It appears to be a pretty new firearm, and the gentleman traded it in, said he hadn't had it that long, hadn't shot it that much. Alright, as you see, that just slides right off. See how dirty that is? It goes to show you guys, if you're going to get into black powder, and they're cool, they're a lot of fun. I know I haven't done any on the channel yet, but I will. Just this weather's been so bad, I've been lucky to get the normal guns out there. With all the chances of rain, humidity, and stuff like that, just don't want to even get a black powder out right now. Wipe some of this off of there. All right, there's our spring right down in there. Let's take this screw out here and see what's going on. Apparently that little spring is not doing its job. And it could be. I just got a lot of trash out of there, but that wasn't that much. But you know how it is. It don't take that much to mess one up, that's for sure. Get all that off of there. Rough edge right there. I'm going to bet I know what's going on. Don't see a piece of a spring. Surely would have figured as rough as that edge is, maybe a piece was broke off in there. But I'm not seeing a thing. Trying to see how. See how this functions. Okay, I got it. Hopefully y'all can see this okay. Little piece right there. Apparently that spring pushes down on that, and that is the tension that holds the trigger. Yeah, my hands ain't wanting to work. It's starting to get colder out here. And that is the issue, because this spring goes in just like this, which is telling us that this part of the spring, the little hump right there, pushes down on this part here. That's what catches your notches in your cylinder and holds your cylinder from spinning. And the other part of this spring is supposed to extend over to here and hold the trigger. I'm just wondering if somebody's had this apart before, and that's why I can't find the broken part of that spring. And that is the trouble with used firearms, especially when You buy them as is knowing that they do have an issue in them. I'm not seeing a thing down in there except for a little dirt. I will give this thing a really good cleaning. But we're going to have to come up with a new spring assembly. Well, this is another Plan B operation. This thing is made so poorly and so bad. Even when I welded to it and started to go grind my weld off, it just broke it off even further. So that's junk. So what I've done, I just grabbed a whole Sawzall blade, and as you can see, I've traced out my pattern on it. We'll take our little cut-off wheel and just cut us out a whole brand new one and make it. I did have to take a drill bit, enlarge that hole just a little bit, but I think it's going to work out fine. All right, let's chuck this up in the vise and grab our Dremel and get to cutting. And what we want to do is our little notch part, basically our center right there, we want to cut it out first. And then we'll cut out our perimeter piece. All right, steady hands, and let's do this. All right, guys, we have our preliminary shape cut out. Now I need to go right in here in the center. I need to thin that out just a little bit. Just go in there with this and just grind a little bit, because I mean just a little bit, not a lot. That's all right. We accomplished what we needed to accomplish. Now, as you can see from the old one, see how that was bent down in that U shape? The actual U is of no consequence. We have our, call this our short tab here. We already have it bent down. And I've done checked it, that will hold proper tension. Now, we need to bend this down a little bit so it holds proper tension on our trigger. Like I say, this stuff is spring steel, so no biggie to get in there and do a little bending on it, because you're not going to break it. Put half of it in there, as you can see. And I'll just take my little hammer and give her a tap. Alright, let me test fit that right quick. More tension on it. Alright, got her in there for a test fit. Fits in there just fine. Good tension on her trigger. Yep, catches it just perfect. I think we did just fine. Of course, this bar here, you see that's being held up just fine. We done good. I'll tell you what, for now, I'm not going to worry about the looks of it. I just like to get it together and see how it operates. I'll tear it down later. And yeah, I had to make a new screw, lost the other one. But I'll re-blue this screw here and clean all this up and blue it and get some oil on it. Let's put it back together and see just how well it is going to function now. And I think it's going to work out just fine. I think the steel that we used is a lot better quality. And whatever it was they had in there, that's for sure. a little time consuming, but at least this way I know that it will hold up. Apparently that's a weak spot of this firearm. So if you can find a weak spot and improve it, then odds are you're going to have a good firearm after that. Alright, I got them tightened down pretty good. That's brass, so don't need to be in there really giving it a hard way to go, that's for sure. Give him credit making them handles fit that well. You know, that was a good job. Now this fantastic spring is so easy to get out. That's how bad it's going to be to get back in there. So roll it over to here. Oh man, that's just too easy right there. Tighten it down. Alright. Well, y'all can hear that rain. Storm's coming. Get the two toppings started in. And it gets the bottom started in. Tighten these. Tighten them even. You don't see that gap in there. So far, so good. You can really see that trigger working now. And I can see this down in here. I think y'all can see everything working. You see the trigger catching, and watch this plunger right here. Yeah, I believe that's working like it's supposed to. Slide the cylinder on. Barrel. There's some set up there. Yeah, I like this little block. That's just handy dandy. Let's get a barrel solid on there. Locks up tight. And there we go. Little ingenuity goes a long way. Now as y'all can tell, it's storming like a dog out there. So no test fires today. I'll tell you what, just as soon as the weather clears up for us, we will most definitely take this thing out and put some black powder rounds through her and have a little fun with it. Well, everyone, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed that and learned something in the process. We learned that this is crap, but we made it better. If you would, please leave me some comments, any questions, any suggestions you may have, and hit us up on Patreon if you're able. And please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank y'all very much, and I hope you have a fantastic day.